All right. Hello, everybody. It is Saturday night, right? It's a Saturday night hangout. I'm excited. Hey, everybody. Rich Grisham here. Welcome to the Press Row Hangout. With us, as always, we have from the great state of Washington, the city of Seattle, the biggest Seahawks fan I know, from Pasta Padre, Mr. Brian Weed. Hi, Brian. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks, Rich. Good to be back for another one of these, and I am fighting through a cold, so if my voice sounds weird and if I have to mute myself to cough, I will apologize afterwards, or apologize in advance now of that. I've been fighting through it and still recording daily videos, which were a struggle. I'd have to re-record them the various clips several times because of my inability to get through them without like taking a giant breath or something because I can't breathe through my nose. So it's been an entertaining few days.
Well, we appreciate you making the effort to be here, fighting through it, very much.
Yes.
So. And of course, the man next to him from the even greater state of New Jersey, the ultimate team guru, the man, the myth, the legend, from That Sports Gamer, Mr. TJ Lauerman. TJ, welcome to the show.
Hey, Rich, so happy to be here and not sick because the last 2 weeks I was sick, then I wasn't sick, then I got sick again, and that was great. But now I'm back 100%. I got to play a lot of video games in that time, so that was good.
You know, it's funny. I feel great. I felt great for years. I don't ever get sick. I don't know what you weak folks are doing getting sick all the time. I fly all over the world. I'm good. No, never take a sick day. Never take a day off.
Rich. So you're telling me right now you don't have Ebola? Because
I do not.
I've been reading the stories and I've been concerned about you.
They did just stop a plane in Newark, so we should probably worry.
Yep. I'm going to be flying all over the world for the next 3-4 months, too. I'm going to Hong Kong. I'm going to Poland. I'm going to all sorts of crazy places. But little Ebola can't stop me. Come on now.
I believe that's what a lot of people have said.
I've seen the movie Outbreak. Was that Ebola? I don't remember. But I learned a lot of lessons from that. And that's Rich. If you get it, they're going to nuke you. So I'm sorry.
I keep a small monkey around just in case. If he croaks, I know things are going bad.
The monkey in the coal mine, right? All right. So, hey, this is an amazing time of year right now. I mean, I tell you what, between just the real sports going on, you got your baseball playoffs, you got the NFL, you got amazing college football stuff going on. That's all spectacular. And the sports games, the stuff going on right now, obviously Madden, and then you got NHL, which came out, but what's really getting people going crazy right now is FIFA. NBA 2K hits on Tuesday. I'm still playing MLB The Show. A lot of people still playing UFC. In fact, just got a new patch, which has been a significant improvement. I mean, my goodness, if you like sports games, there is absolutely something going on for you right now. So we're going to have a little fun talking about what we have cooking in our various sports game entities. I'm actually going to start. For probably about the last 2 weeks now, I've been, ever since FIFA came out, I started a career as a manager of Everton. Everton is not a terrific team in the Premier League, but they are a good team. They're, a top half of the table kind of a team. But I'm playing on professional, and I'm trying to manage a career, with players and transfer windows and all sorts of craziness, and let's just say it's not exactly going well. And for about the past 7 or 8 days after every game, I resorted to, probably just as my own personal therapy, just tweeting the result of the match and the resulting tables, and I've somehow found myself in 19th place right now, 19th out of 20, struggling mightily. What's funny is I'm playing better, but I'm just not getting the results. But it's been a lot of fun. After every match, I tweet the result and tweet where I am, and I'm getting a lot of feedback. A lot of people saying, "Hey, are you playing tonight? I want to see what happens." So it's been really fun. I mean, it may sound ridiculous that losing that many games and having that many scoring opportunities go just awry. Like last night is a great example. I was playing West Bromwich, and I went up 2-1 in the 82nd minute. And I was so excited because I'm like, yes, I'm going to get 3 points. Like, getting 3 points is so difficult for me right now. And then they scored a goal in the 89th minute to tie it, and it was the worst draw I've ever had in my life. and I'm still stuck in 19th. I'm like 2 or 3 wins. If I can win 2 or 3 games in a row, I will be out of the relegation zone. But I can't get over the hump. But it's funny, Brian. We've talked about it before. But even though I'm either losing or drawing, I'm still having fun a lot of the time. FIFA is just that way for me. Is it still that way for you, Brian Weed?
Yeah, I'm not sure how many other sports games I think that would be the case with. Like for me, I don't know. Like if I was losing, I'm the Jaguars in our Madden league. If I was 0-8 at this point, I'm 4-4. I've been able to battle myself to 4-4. If I was 0-8, it might be miserable. I think I'd be miserable. But I can, maybe it's just the speed of the games. You can get through a game, get to the next one in 20 minutes. You don't suffer through an hour's worth of pain if you're down 40-0 in a Madden game. That's a lot different than being down 4-0 in a FIFA game. But I totally agree. I started a career in FIFA, and I don't normally play careers. I normally just play online seasons. But because of your tweeting, Rich, I wanted to see how it went for me. And I started my career with Swansea, and I'm through 5 matches now. I think I have 5 points. I have a win, 2 draws. Like you, I just had a match where I had a 1-0 lead, and it was in extra time, and they managed to put it in. That is deflating.
Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah, that stung, because I basically thought those 3 points were in my back pocket, and it never really is until it's over. So. Yeah. I learned my lesson there, and then we've been playing now. We have our FIFA Premier League,
yes,
which we wanted to talk about because look, we've stressed over the fact that FIFA isn't going to put in an online franchise type of mode, so we're doing it ourselves and just kind of piecing it together the best way we can, just to have kind of a similar experience. No, we're not going to have off seasons. We're not going to have we're not doing transfers and things of that nature, but we're just playing games with our team, keeping track of who's scoring goals, and seeing where that leads. And based on the results I've seen so far, other than you, Rich, everyone has a win.
Yeah, you had to go there right away, didn't you? You
had
to go there right away. Yeah.
Rich had a very hard opponent in the first set of games, so I wouldn't have expected him to win.
So
they were entertaining. They were entertaining, by the way. I watched both in their entirety. They were fun to watch, especially kind of Rich grimace every time he'd miss an opportunity or TJ put one through. I couldn't have the sound up because I was watching TV at the same time, but it was entertaining.
Well, that's the thing, with FIFA, I'm not like terrible, right? It's not like I'm giving up 25 opportunities and never getting a score. I'm just bad enough to not ever win, which is like.
Is that more frustrating or less frustrating?
That's why FIFA, and I don't mean just the video game, that's why international soccer is so fascinating because, we're used to as Americans, you have teams fight to make the playoffs and then, in the playoffs to win the championship. Whereas in FIFA, there's multiple levels, right? There's the top tier clubs trying to win the league, but then there's also trying to get into the top 4 slots so that you can qualify for the Champions League, which lets you do other stuff, and then 5th and 6th to go to the Europa League, which is a lower level. But then also at the bottom of the table, it's a whole other drama to not get booted out of the league into the minors and have the teams come in, and that's where a lot of the interest also comes in. It's just so funny. Before we get to a little bit more on the FIFA, on the Press Row Premier League, which I want to talk for a few more minutes about. TJ, what's your main sort of, what's your single player or, your most, the biggest thing that you've been into the last few days in any of these sports games we're talking about?
Well, after I burnt myself out of FIFA Ultimate Team, because we worked on a little guide for that, I went back to playing some Madden, just crossed 202 solo challenges in Ultimate Team completed.
Wow.
And the big thing right now, aside from whooping you in our Premier League, I started playing pro clubs with my buddy Jeff again, and it is so much fun. And FIFA continues to be FIFA and NHL, which I didn't buy this year, continue to be the game where you take a shot and you have a big reaction after, even if you score or you miss. Every shot's like I've now put the little NSFW explicit tag on my channel anytime I do FIFA, because if I'm on the mic, I'm going to say something that I don't want little children to hear. Sometimes you just miss that rip by like this much, or we played a guy today when we won our championship in one of the games we lost. He hit from like 45 yards out. He hit the top of the crossbar and put it in. We didn't know what happened. I was like, but thankfully we finished our first season. We were scared. We were real scared for a long time. We got to like the 1 point to get promoted, and then we got 3 points, and then we're like, well, we got 1 point left. We can win a cup. Got a 1-0 lead. The other team quit. We got the cup. We were so excited. And I was like, we need to stop right now because anything else is going to get us down. And we put in cool little rules like that aren't really part of the game, but right now we're wearing the Bayern Munich jerseys. So if we play another team wearing the same jerseys and we lose, got to change jerseys. That's just the rules. If you get relegated, got to change the jerseys. Maybe a name change. Yeah, it's a ton of fun. And even that stupid little stuff where just like, oh, these guys have the same jerseys as them, we got to win. That just gets you so much deeper. And just like how we talk about with the Madden CFM, it's those little things like that aren't actually in the game that make it so much more fun.
Yeah, speaking of our Madden CFM, I want to talk about that for a minute. I want to give credit where credit is due. Whether you like the results of the fix or not, the Madden development team fixed the desyncs. Ever since that patch went in a week and a half ago or so, we restarted our league. I mean, we didn't restart it. It was in week 5, and we're just like, we're not going to even bother moving forward until it gets addressed. And it got fixed. And we've played a ton of games, and we have a pretty populated league now. We've let a few people go. Some of the folks who for various reasons just weren't able to make it happen, which is actually, I think, sort of kind of a good thing. We've gotten to a more manageable number of people. We still got 16 folks, and we've had no desyncs whatsoever. It's been terrific. Owen Good and I played last night. As a matter of fact, Owen Good is playing as a single running back, Perseus Oxendine of the Arizona Cardinals, and my 5-1 Eagles went up against his 4-2 Arizona Cardinals in Arizona, and I won 24-21. A terrific game, back and forth. I was actually up 14-0 late in the first half, and I did what I always do, which is I throw a pick six. So instead of being up 17-0 or 21-0 going to the half, all of a sudden it's 14-7, and then Oxendine, who I really did a good job bottling up for most of the game, caught a screen pass and rambled and smashed for 82 yards, tied it up. And actually, I went up 21-14. He tied it 21-21 with about 2.5 minutes left, which was just enough time for me to drive all the way down and kick a field goal as time.
And he could do nothing about it. He just had to watch.
That's right, because he's a running back, so he doesn't get to call the plays on defense. He just had to sit there and watch it. But our Press Row Madden League is back in full effect. We're having a lot of fun, a lot of messaging, a lot of good games, a lot of really good games. And it feels, Brian, like we're really kind of back in the saddle where we need to be with Madden right now.
Well, I hope so. Yeah, the games have been just like last year or Madden 25. We tend to have these really tight, entertaining games that are fun for people to watch, not just to play through. And there are the occasion here with Madden in the last 2 years in our league where I have lost games and enjoyed the hell out of them and just thought, that was a great experience even if I lost. So there's that. I'm not sure if I could take that an extended period of time like we do with FIFA, but we're getting the games in, we're moving at a good pace, and hopefully that keeps up. As other games come out in the holidays and stuff, people tend to slow down a bit. So hopefully that doesn't cause issues for us. But yeah, I'm enjoying playing with the Jaguars, believe it or not, and it's a challenge. But it's kind of fun. I feel good about my 4-4 record. If I was the Seahawks, I would feel awful about my 4-4 record. So that's kind of the difference, and partially why I took the team is I wanted that. If I do lose, I can at least have that excuse that I'm just the Jaguars. So and my big triumph was TJ's only loss so far this year. So I was able to drop that on him, and also as I think we talked about last time, also knock out Andrew Luck for like 5 weeks or something in the process. So that was my big accomplishment so far this season. And again, if we didn't have a league set up, me injuring Andrew Luck wouldn't have mattered. If we were just doing the pen and paper type league like we are with FIFA, But having stuff that travels week to week and these different storylines that we can create ourselves because of the developments, I think that's where we get that extra enjoyment out of Madden from.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. So yeah, your Jags, you said, are 4-4. My Eagles are now 6-1. TJ, who do you have, and how's your season going so far?
6-1, thanks to some great efforts from Matt Hasselbeck keeping us in those games. So I got the Steelers up next. I think we're going to play tomorrow in the afternoon time.
Oh yeah, that's
pretty excited. Luck's
Jeremy
back.
Stein, right? Jeremy Stein. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, happy Luck's back, but actually I'm really surprised how Trent Richardson's been doing. He's been playing pretty damn good for me. And I've been doing a lot of switching around playbooks and stuff just so I can get a new feel for stuff. So I've been using the Colts playbook and Ultimate Team because I love Ultimate Team. So, but yeah, Trent Richardson's tearing it up. T.Y. Hilton's doing pretty good. My defense hasn't really stepped up. I'm hoping that happens in the second part of the season, but I'm excited.
It just feels good to have our Madden League back up and running again and not having the technical difficulties. There are some issues with Madden that we want to talk about. We're going to get to that a little bit later as a specific topic, more related to offline CFM, because I've got some tweets and emails, and Brian, I know you have too. So I want to talk about that a little bit. But before we get that, a couple other things. Believe it or not, we are still doing our MLB The Show online franchise, trying desperately to complete a season. I've got 5 games left in my season. I'm the Dodgers. I am having a blast. I mean, again, I know I've talked about it 100 times, but taking a lot of the ancillary stuff out, just playing a game of MLB The Show still might be my favorite sports game experience right now. It is just so good and so intense, and whatever level that we're on in our Dodd Scientifics MLB The Show, with the sliders and the settings and stuff, and I think we all have different things. It's just, man, it feels really good. I'm really, really, really hoping that it feels good so far. It feels like this is going to be the year when we're actually going to get to the playoffs. So I'm the Dodgers. I'm tied right now with the Rockies for first place in the National League West with 5 games left. TJ, you're the White Sox. How are your White Sox doing right now?
God awful. I think I'm like 4-16 or something like that.
Really?
Can't hit at all with these guys. But then I go back into my other my offline franchise with the A's on my drafted team, and I think that's on like Hall of Fame difficulty or like Hall of Fame plus because I have it on dynamic difficulty there, and I still play fine over there. I don't get it. I think maybe the White Sox are just really, really bad, and I can't hit anything with Jose Abreu, so that guy's gonna be Rookie of the Year, and I can't do anything.
Interesting. And it also feels really interesting to be playing the last couple of days of of our regular season juxtaposed against the real baseball playoffs. Like, it just kind of, for me, for whatever reason, gives me a little extra juice. It's also funny because I've been playing with the Dodgers really ever since we started the online franchise, and watching the real Dodgers in the playoffs versus my virtual Dodgers, it kind of gives me a little more affinity for them. I'm a Mets fan, as people who know me know. But I didn't want to be the Mets in our league because they're just terrible, and it's not fun to play with a terrible team. But yeah, it's been kind of interesting watching the Dodgers, because I've kind of gotten to know them really well, like Dee Gordon and Adrian Gonzalez and Matt Kemp and Hanley Ramirez and Carl Crawford and A.J. Ellis, and I mean all these guys. Like, I really know that Dodgers team well. Heck, we've tried to do this 4 times, so that's how we get to know them for sure. Hey, Brian, have you been playing any of the golf club in the last couple of weeks, now that we're kind of buried with other stuff?
No.
Too bad. You're missing out, man. Golf club is terrific.
I need to. I've been bouncing back between, I started the FIFA career. That's probably taken the golf club time, and then Forza Horizon 2, which we'll talk about later, combined with Madden. So those 3 recently kind of have been taking all, plus outside issues in my life, have been taking all the time. I keep seeing, you post about the different tournaments and stuff in the golf club, and if there's one open now, I'll probably jump into it. Or else,
there is.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'll jump into that one soon here in the next day or 2.
Yep, that's the DS Open. This is a major. This is the first major through the Dodd Scientific site. It's 2 courses for 4 rounds each, so it's 8 total rounds. It's open for another 9 or 8 days. So this is the big one. and we have a user-generated course as well as one of the most highly ranked official courses. So it should be a lot of fun. I continue to just love the golf club, and for a lot of the reasons that we've talked about, I'm not going to harp on them again. Just the fact that you can hop in and play, the fact that you don't have to wait between holes is huge. Like, to me, that is so much of a reason. I didn't really realize it, why I can enjoy playing the golf club so much, is that you can get right after it, next hole, no loading, no nothing. Because, in the golf club, when you have a particularly brutal hole, the worst thing would be to sit there and just ruminate on it for 30 seconds or 60 seconds while you're waiting for the next hole to load. So the fact you don't have to do that makes it's become even more, apparent to me how crucial that is. So yeah, that is that. So FIFA, Madden, the golf club, and the show. TJ, you mentioned earlier, we did a guide for FIFA Ultimate Team for Games Radar. Go check that out. TJ put in all of the work in getting the content and organizing it and understanding it. I just basically put it together, edited it, and did all the CMS. And
took all the credit.
Well,
Yeah, it's true.
If by telling the world in every possible venue that TJ did all the work and I'm taking all the credit, okay, I'll deal with that. But TJ did a great job with it. It's a lot of fun collaborating with you. But you mentioned you're burned out on it. What's going on with that? I would imagine you'd just be throwing yourself into FIFA Ultimate Team, the world's biggest and best Ultimate Team mode there is.
Well, Rich, I'm also trying to beat every single solo challenge in Madden Ultimate Team. So there's usually like 2 or 3 new ones every week, so I got to get those in. Plus, I got to work on my becoming a MUT master by playing the other solos. So I've just been going through that. And sometimes you get burnt out when you play a game for what I played FIFA 4 or 5 straight days, just nonstop. I got a little tired. I don't know how these people play Destiny for 36 hours straight and pop out a review. We just did a guide and tell them how to play Ultimate Team good.
Yeah. All right, so it's clear, like, your plate is full, right? If you like sports games right now, between FIFA and Madden and NHL and NBA coming out and the show, there's plenty there for you, and in each one of those games there's different ways to play it. But I have found myself in the past week or so moving into racing games. In particular, Forza Horizon 2 came out for the Xbox One. Everybody who has been following, me, or who knows, who listens, knows that I was a 360 guy all the way last generation, but I've been a PS4 guy. This generation, I have the Xbox One, but it's been sitting idle for many months. But I played the Forza Horizon 2 demo a couple weeks ago, and it sold me on the game, and I bought it the day it came out, and it has not disappointed. I have been having an absolute blast playing Forza Horizon 2. Brian Wiedau, has your experience been the same?
Yeah, it's a really fun game, and it's similar in nature, of course, to the first one, which I liked a lot because I'm more of an arcade racing fan, Burnout type of games in the past. So Forza Horizon, the first and the second kind of straddled the in between sim and arcade because it's got the sim elements as far as the cars go, and the environments and like physics for the most part. But it's much more free reign, and just like the key to me in that is the variety in the racing. It's not just 15 real life ovals or courses, whatever they are, in the traditional Forza, but in this one, you're driving off through like cornfields, and then you're also sent on these different like challenges, bucket list challenges, where you get like this really exceptional vehicle to use that you wouldn't have been able to afford or get to yet in the game, and have to complete some sort of task with that. And then they just throw you around in the different things, even hunting for the barn finds, which I liked in the first one. I'm enjoying in this. Then there's they have this wheel spin thing after you level up, which is awesome. It's like you're in Vegas and you pull it down and the handle, and it gives you a free either coins or a car. And it's fairly generous, so I don't feel pressured to go and spend money on microtransactions or anything. And The Kinect integration I actually like. I just say the word Anna, it pops up, and I can have it route me to what it thinks I should do next, instead of getting confused maybe in the past, and where should I go, what's the next kind of in-line thing for me to do. So it's really a well-designed game, and it's a lot of fun. And then even like you tweeted, Rich, the thing saying, hey, do you want to face your rival head to head? And it was me. So you probably lost, but
Not true. I was
oh
victorious.
man, now I got to go back and beat your time. So I mean, it has all these like social elements to it on top of it. It's just a really well designed game, and it's high on the fun factor, and even for someone who isn't an expert racing car racing guy, you can have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, I could not agree more. You incredibly well said, Brian. I mean, Forza Horizon 2 may be the best racing game I've ever played, in that it feels like it was built for me today, right? I'm not saying it's the best racing game ever. I'm not saying anything like that. What I am saying, for what I do with my limited free time and what I like in a racing game, my goodness, Forza Horizon 2 hits so many marks. I mean, it does so many things well. Leveling up, if you are one of those millions of people who plays video games who loves the satisfaction of leveling up, it does a great job of constantly moving you towards the next level, the next level, the next level. One of the things I've heard some people complain about is that you have to drive to every event. You can't just click a button and be put right into the middle of a race. But whenever you're driving somewhere, it's not that far. Plus, you're getting little bits of XP, and you're learning how the cars,
Yeah, isn't it? Don't they also have? I think they have these like fast pass signs you can drive through, and I think if you drive through those signs and bust them, then you can like go warp over that area whenever you want, because they also have the signs you can drive through where you just get coins for them. You just hunt them down. Again, little fun little things like that I actually enjoy. Actually makes me want to drive around and do it, because I'd be the same way. I'd be like, what was the not GTA, but what was the other?
Gran Turismo?
No, I'm talking about like in regular video games.
Burnout Paradise?
No, never mind. Anyways, I don't like games where I have to travel generally and spend 15 minutes to get to the place that I've been designated for the next task or whatever. Because
you're talking about a Zelda game, Ocarina of Time, maybe, or Wind Waker.
Well, there's a lot. I mean, I was thinking of Take-Two games, the open world games, where you have to ride a horse for 15 minutes to get to where you're going next.
Oh yeah, Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There you go. That's why I was saying GTA and stuff. So, so that's just like, normally I'd be on board with that, but I agree, Rich, that you can get to where you need to go fairly quickly, and you're right. Like the traveling to the next area is all about learning your car and seeing the sights and stuff. It's pretty, I actually enjoy that aspect.
And plus, wherever you're driving, you see your friends all over the place, just like zipping by. You're like, oh, hey, there goes Brian. Or, hey, there goes Stuart.
I see people I know crashing just right into me, like head on. I'm like, what? This is how they drive? I wonder if my guy drives, because I just got credits or something for my drive-atar. I wonder how he drives around, because I like purposefully try to drive in a sane manner and not collide with everybody, but I bet you it's just going crazy all over the place.
Just the way that they integrate the friends, your friends list is terrific. There's so many little things to do, but also the racing itself. Like, who cares if all this other stuff is great if the racing is bad? The races are so fun, and the cars that you can choose from are terrific. And I've earned a lot of in-game currency. Haven't spent $1 in real money. I don't plan on it. The game certainly feels as if it was designed understanding that people don't want to spend real money unless they want to go like search for it and find it to make it happen, whereas Forza 5 put the opportunity to spend money like right in front of your face constantly. Now you got to really go looking to find it. And the currency earning model feels very good compared to how much money it costs to buy certain cars. But again, it comes down to the racing itself is really fun. The tracks, the cars, the lengths, the styles of racing just is wonderful. And you mentioned the variety. It's not just racing against cars. You're racing against planes. You're racing against all sorts of crazy stuff. And it also looks fabulous. The soundtrack is terrific. I'm not sure if you...
The radio stations?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big, game soundtrack guy, but the way that the music is integrated into the game, whether I love the song, like the song, or don't know it, it just feels like the song was meant for what's happening on the screen at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, there's so many good things about Forza Horizon 2. It's not like it's without its issues or anything like that, but my goodness, it is a ton of fun. It's got me playing my Xbox One again every day. My son and I, right before he went to bed earlier tonight, he watched me with this particularly epic race, and I don't want to spoil, but it was there was a Clash song involved, so those of you who have played the game, you know what I'm talking about. Forza Horizon 2 is spectacular. I mean, that's all there is to it. I'm having a blast. It's getting great reviews, and I say well deserved because it is terrific. TJ Lauerman, any thoughts on is Forza Horizon 2 potentially an Xbox One system seller to you, sir?
No. I'll just sit over here and wait for Gran Turismo 7 and the Drive Club.
Drive Club, yeah.
And I think there's another one, Project Cars. I mean, there's a lot of car games coming out. But speaking of soundtracks, I don't know if you guys know that the NBA Live 2003 soundtrack was certified platinum by the RIAA, selling 1.3 million copies. Amazing. Possibly the greatest.
Who knew? Who knew? Possibly. I'm surprised you say possibly.
I don't know. MVP 05 and Madden 04 are close contenders.
Okay. All right, well, hey, let's move on to something I mentioned earlier. While all of the raving that we're doing about Madden 15 and how our online CFM is back, and we're all having a lot of fun with it, and it's all true, there are quite a number of people...
It's all lies, Rich. All lies.
There are quite a number of people who have reached out to me and to you, Brian, about their issues and concerns with Madden CFM offline, when they're just playing on their own, in a single-player career mode. Brian, why don't you lay out for us what the issues are that you're hearing, and whether or not we think there's going to be any updates coming from the Madden development team about these?
Yeah, well, I mean, so basically, people want to know why Madden hasn't been patched yet. They see NHL has received 2 patches, UFC, which released farther back, has 3 patches. The post-release support doesn't seem to match up, and Madden has these expectations behind it. So there's frustration out there. They see all these other games getting these support updates, and Madden hasn't. And yeah, as online franchises, we've had server-side updates, but that stuff doesn't get applied to offline, nor does various gameplay improvements or tweaks that they might process through a patch either. So people want to know, where is the Madden patch, and why isn't EA talking about it at all? Why won't they say what even will be in it? That kind of thing. So it's frustration over the lack of communication and stuff. So I went and looked back the past several years to see whether there was reason to be concerned or just to be frustrated, like some people feel. And based on their track record, this game's pretty much in line with how they support Madden. Madden 25, its big patch came October 24th. Madden 13 was October 16th, and Madden 12 was October 18th. So we're actually, if a patch arrived for Madden today, we'd be like 2 weeks ahead of schedule for when they normally release that kind of significant gameplay and feature-related patch. Madden isn't at a place where it's it has some kind of game-breaking feature that physically won't let you play a mode. You can play Connected Franchise offline. Yeah, your stats aren't going to be right, and all sorts of little other things in terms of progression and stuff. But you can still play it, and I understand that's not the experience people want. But EA certainly has their internal metrics. They look and say, okay, 3% of people play franchise offline or something, and these things aren't preventing them from playing it. So let's wait and fold it all into a bigger patch instead of rushing out a patch kind of to attack those smaller issues. There's things like people starting up their game and having to replay the Panthers-Seahawks cinematic experience. There's a huge thread of that on Operation Sports, and I've received a bunch of emails about it. Why every time when I start the game does it make me do this, or why does it make me do this every couple weeks or something related to user profiles, which I would expect probably would be addressed in a patch. So there's these things that are irritations more so than NHL, which is missing features, and they have to push things out as quick as possible, or UFC, where nobody was satisfied with the gameplay and they had to work on gameplay. It's not, Madden isn't to the point where it's beyond when they typically release these content updates. So yeah, I get the frustration, but we're not to the point yet where anyone has to say what's going on. This is pretty typical from them.
Yeah, I mean, our friend Victor Cook, who's a listener, I asked him, he reached out to you and me, Brian. He's like, hey, any word on whether they're going to fix it? I'm like, well, what are you talking about? Because, we play in our online league, right? And there's 16 of us, so I was curious what he meant. And he's like, well, and you touched on a lot of this, right? Number one, sim stats and offline are still not fixed. He says, I went through one season, Stephen Ridley won the MVP, where Aaron Rodgers had 2,800 yards and 22 interceptions.
Yeah.
Quarterback accuracy is still a problem. They only throw short passes, 85% completion percentage. There's no logic in team building. CPU teams don't re-sign their coaches. Rookies' equipment is mismatched. 225-pound running backs look like they're sick and haven't eaten in months. So clearly, again, these are very specific things that take away from the immersion, right? I mean, these are the things that we talk about. It's not like you can't play the game. It's not like you can't have fun with it, but there's stuff. And man, I don't have any idea what it takes to make these kind of things actually work correctly like the real world. But when you get into these kinds of details, I can only imagine how difficult it might be if you fix one thing, something else gets messed up. I mean, to track these down and get them to work, I'm sure is a difficult task. Again, I'm not trying to make excuses, but boy, there's so much going on in all these things. I can imagine the difficulty of that. So you're expecting, Brian, a patch in a couple of weeks is what it sounds like you're expecting.
Yeah, I would think in the next 2 weeks, mid-October. Certainly the time frame based on the last several years is mid to late October. So yeah, and that has always, even in those past years, people have been kind of like getting antsy for it, because you see a lot of these games come out with patches after 2 or 3 weeks. But typically that's stuff that were a little more pressing, and then they get to the gameplay type of things that people are expecting, or the franchise type of things people are expecting improvement-wise in a next one after that. So they're just basically folding it all into one within the same time frame.
TJ, Ultimate Team, has it been an issue at all? Any weird stuff happening there? Any patches made related to that? Anything in your hundreds of challenges online and offline that you've seen just flat out doesn't work? Or does Ultimate Team seem like it is functioning at a pretty good level?
No, it seems to be working pretty good. I mean, we still get the EA servers going down every now and then, and that same kind of stuff that happens all the time. But other than that, everything's worked pretty good. Just one of those things where if you're going to be starting a new single-player franchise, you might as well just make it an online one anyway, so you can get those gameplay updates.
Good point. Well, all right, the big game, the last big game of the fall, and I'm certainly not knocking Pro Evolution, but it doesn't come out till November.
Or WWE 2K15, but continue.
Which doesn't
or
come out
NBA
till
Live 15, Rich. Oh man,
Also.
How dare you?
Or Super Mega Baseball. I mean, come on, Rich. I mean, are you trying here?
The last big game of the fall, the one that clearly there's more excitement about than any of the other games that you guys mentioned. Not that that's, those other games aren't potentially terrific or not.
Are you talking about Call of Duty Advanced Warfighter?
Stop it.
All right.
Stop it. The last game that any of us care about. Big game. No, I'm just kidding. NBA 2K15 comes out next week, comes out Tuesday. The 2K team has been doing a lot of recent promotion for the game. They've been doing a lot of live streams. They've unveiled most of the stuff. They've been holding back until the last few days before release. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is completely subjective, obviously, but there's been a flood of information coming about NBA 2K15, about the various new modes and My Park, and my goodness, I don't even know where to start. NBA 2K15 looks absolutely massive. TJ Larriman, before we go to Brian with some of the specifics, I mean, is NBA 2K15 too big for its own britches, so to speak? And for somebody like you, who you said you're going to probably pick up NBA 2K15, where are you even going to start in a game this big?
Going straight to the park. We're actually
with your 65 rated guy or something. You got to build them up.
That's what it's all about. We got to get straight to the park. We got to start hustling. I was at my father-in-law's birthday dinner last night. Me and my brother-in-law were talking. He's the one that whoops me. Him and his wife destroy me in NBA 2K every year. So I was like, what are we doing? He's like, this park stuff looks cool. We're going to put our faces in, and we're going to have our guys look like us, and we're going to go to the park and we're going to dominate. And I was like, let me grab my phone. I'm in the middle of dinner. I just placed an order. I was like, Jeff, are you in? We're going to get 2K15. We're going to go in the park, me, you, and Lucas, and we're going to go dominate, right? He's like, yes. I was like, perfect. That's the thing with these sports games. We've been saying it since back at PAX East this year. These games have so much stuff in them. I can go in the park and play that all the time and be perfectly happy. And you can go play your offline GM and be super happy. And Brian can go probably not play my team, but he can play some mode, and Correct. He's going to love it. And we can all three have completely different experiences and all have great times with these games because they have so much in them now.
So I've seen you more animated about NBA video games in the last 45 seconds than I have in the years that we've known each other. So is it the park? Because the park was there last year. What is it about the park this year?
It sucked last year. I couldn't. Yeah. By the time I traded that game in, which was a month and a half, 2 months after the game released, I still had played like 2 games in the park because the servers never worked. So I'm hoping they work this time. We'll see what happens. I could be very angry again, but I love pro clubs in FIFA, and this is taking that small 3 human guys are going to go on, and we're going to go play 3 other people. Probably going to get our ass handed to us. Pardon my French, but if it's like FIFA pro clubs, we're going to have a good time doing it.
So Brian Weed-Eye, NBA 2K15, number one, it looks great. Like if you've seen just some of the 5-on-5, the regular, they had a stream last week where they had the Bulls versus the Lakers, I believe.
Yeah.
It looked terrific. The park stuff looks really impressive. They got the Michael Jordan Center. They got the 3 different towns. We've already, they're promising fully functional online leagues. With the season, which I'm fine with. Like, I don't need the franchise. If you just let us play an 82-game or whatever game season and keep track of stuff, I'm cool with that. So we're going to have that, which we're going to have clearly our Press Pro League. We're going to have, it's got the in-depth My GM and the My Season. I mean, my goodness, Brian, with all of this stuff going on, is NBA 2K15 shaping up as the monster of all sports video games?
Well, it certainly seems to have something for everyone, and FIFA's been that way for a while. I was thinking about it today, and I posted a poll on my site, kind of because of that. I was inspired by thinking about all the stuff they put in, because if you compare it to all the other sports games that have come out in the last year,
yep.
2K Sports, they did more work in terms of features and modes.
Yep.
Than any of them probably combined.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, it's amazing how much more is in NBA 2K15 than an NHL or even a Madden, right? I mean, Madden's got CFM and it's got Ultimate Team and
so right. So where you see like EA investing is in expanding kind of what they already have, and that's mostly Ultimate Team, to be honest. And they do a little bit with the franchise modes or the career modes, just a little bit, just enough to say that they did something, right? But 2K, right? 2K adds a whole new offline franchise mode. They do a bunch of work in My Team and My GM. And my career, certainly my career is basically every year now, if they're going to do the storyline thing, every year they're basically scrapping and starting over.
That's crazy.
And then you have the face scanning, which TJ mentioned, and certainly a big factor for me and many people is the reduced influence of virtual currency. So they did a lot of design and a new menu system, since last year's was the worst in the history of sports gaming, I think. So they did a lot of work on the what we in the past would say would be like back of the box features, but I've kind of felt like we're missing those lately. Like, that's what I want now. It's like I expect gameplay to be improved, but I also want those extra features, different ways to play. And so just looking at early results in the poll I posted today, I thought it was interesting because I basically listed out all those things and said choose up to 3 that you're anticipating the most. And leading the way, and I wouldn't have predicted this because we've had game face, but leading the way at 23%, it's face scanning, which is, I think it's a combination of not just the technology finally, the ability finally coming over after being in EA's games for a while, but because of the connection you'll have with it in your career. Like in Madden and FIFA, maybe it's not the same experience because it's not a story mode necessarily. So I think that factors in. And how you use it also as your GM and in the park. You get a lot of use out of it. So I think that's factoring in. And then what comes in second place? Year 2 of my career mode. So yeah, they kind of go hand in hand. The new offline My League mode is right there at 16%. My GM mode changes at 13%. My Park in the Stage at 11%. Reduced VC 14%. And then TJ, I'm sorry, but additions to My Team mode only 3% comes in.
What about
in the rear? But
what about online leagues? You didn't even make that an option.
Online leagues aren't worth. Rich, they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. Like they might be viable now. We don't know. We won't know until we test it because every year they make their leagues sound like they're viable. I mean, last year after release, they acted like people liked them. Nobody liked the online leagues last year. You literally could not run a functional league the way it was set up with the lack of options and such, and the server issues. So they didn't revamp that mode really. They made it like, okay, now you can change quarter length and difficulty levels, stuff like that. So I don't really count that in there. I think My Park and the Stage are more innovative, and certainly that's where they put, as far as online goes, that's where they put their efforts. Like TJ said, the park last year, totally different. I didn't care for it at all. I thought it was fairly awful design, and the server issues and everything that made it almost impossible to play most of the time. But this year they've really kind of revolutionized what it's all about, and then. I do wonder how you get away with what's essentially gambling, the legalities related to that with the Stage. But like I'm really compelled by My Park this year because of the factions and having it's going to look like me and getting together with other people in squads. That's more innovative. And the league, because they can monetize that essentially because they want people to spend money on improving their characters. Last year, that's what it felt like to me. The park was a way to extend microtransactions and pressure people to feel like I can't go to the park wearing these scrub clothes. I got to get my gear, man. I got to really upgrade there. I got to wear a chain. I got to pay money for that. This year, it feels like there's actually the content there to where. If they want to monetize that, fine, great. If there are people who want to pay for that kind of stuff, great. That doesn't bother me now, because there's actually an interesting way to play and a way that you can enjoy it. So that to me, that's what I'm looking forward to the most. Actually, myself is getting on with guys like you and a buddy of mine and getting together and playing park games, which I wouldn't have thought that would be the case a few weeks ago.
Yeah, and I just wanted to hold on, Rich.
No, go ahead, TJ.
I just wanted to chime in on the face scan thing, because if it literally works as they say, I'm just going to go like this, and now I'm in the game. That's amazing, because last night while I was playing FIFA, and I'm like, well, I'm going to do pro clubs. Let me go do my game face real quick. I have the pictures I took. I've used in the past, but when I switched back to PlayStation at some point, I switched my email because I can't change my old PSN username.
Yeah.
So I created a new one at some point, which I never played a sports game on apparently. So I loaded my profile up, went to go do it in Chrome. It's like download Unity and install Unity. All right, I'm going to do that. Now go install the Game Face plugin. I did that. It's like, well, you can't have Chrome open. Chrome's not open right now. Can you just install the thing? Finally get it installed. Then I get to that part again, and it's like, can you install this plugin? First off, the plugin's installed. So let me hop over to Internet Explorer and try it over here. Go to Internet Explorer. It says, hey, you can't use any Internet Explorer below 7 with this. So if you could install something newer, while I'm using Internet Explorer 11, which is awesome.
You got to use Netscape with Game Face requires Netscape Navigator.
Then I went and I installed what is obviously the best browser on the market, Firefox, which is making this possible, this chat right now. And I did it, and Game Face worked. Popped it on my guy, and now my guy has no blood in his body because he's just white. My face looks great. I mean, it was a little bit off because there's a little brightness in this room. My whole body is white, like I'm Frankenstein, which is an upgrade because I think last year or 2 years ago when you did it, your body would turn lobster red.
Like you were a burn victim. I remember that, yeah.
So if this works, I'm even more excited. And you'll get $1.99 out of me so I can go wear a jersey while I'm playing basketball rather than those scrub black pants and black t-shirt that you come out there with. Brilliant if it works. If I can't connect to it for 2 months and all I see is a Sprite ad all the time, I'm going to be pretty pissed.
Well, that's the thing, right? I mean, going into last year when the launch of the next generation consoles happened, NBA 2K had non-sports fans excited, much less sports fans. So, and I loved NBA 2K14. I mean, I know obviously it had huge problems at launch with the with the server issues and with the VC and stuff, but just as a functional game, I mean, I played that for hundreds of hours, played multiple seasons. I mean, my goodness, I love it. So. Question I have for you, TJ, is do you think that NBA 2K15 is going to avoid the problems and deliver on the hype when it launches next week?
I mean, yes, but as we've seen with all these sports games, it's all up to the servers. If the servers stay up, I think it's going to be great. If the servers are flaky as they were last year, where you couldn't even how long did it take you before you could even start your career? Because of problems.
Took a while.
If that stuff is back again, it's going to suck real bad. But if it's not there, I think it's probably going to be one of the best sports games of the year.
Brian Weedai, what are the odds that you give NBA 2K15 from being, again, nothing's going to be perfect. Like every game, whether it's a sports game or shooter or whatever, like all of these games that depend upon online a lot have troubles at launch. So, but other than the initial sort of issues, I mean, after a couple, 2 or 3 weeks, how do you think NBA 2K15, the launch is going to be viewed by those of us who are really excited to play it?
Generally, when I base my expectations, I go back over the years and history. What does history tell you? But with this one, I feel like it's not. I think they've reached a point where there's no excuses for server issues. The way they're marketing the game this year is less about fluff and it's more about substance. Like my gut tells me this is going to be a better launch and a better sustained experience with 2K. Will I be surprised if there are major server issues? No, but. I feel I have this feeling that maybe it turns a corner this year. That's just a guess, and it's just based on my gut feeling, which I tend to follow, but because history would tell you not to trust anything online related with this game, but you do have an offline only mode where if online is struggling. Maybe you don't have interest in that mode, so it doesn't matter. But at least compared to last year, where if there was a server issue, you couldn't play anything. You couldn't continue your career. You couldn't continue your GM. You couldn't get online to play games. So I feel like there's they open themselves up to, okay, if we have problems, at least there's this and this people can get to. So I think the way they're approaching it tells me that they're planning ahead more, that they're preparing. But boy, I have to see it to believe it. But I'm encouraged in a way I haven't been in the past. So we'll see. Maybe it ends up being just as bad as ever. But I'm more encouraged and I'm more ready to like recommend the game if it works right out of the box. So I'm looking forward to Tuesday.
I will say this: it certainly feels like the NBA 2K15 team is extremely confident about this one. You know what I mean? They've recently brought on some fresh faces. They have been doing some pretty in-depth live streams. They've been introducing their stuff in long form. They've been doing it on their own terms, but they've also been reaching out to the community. Obviously, they came on. Rob Jones came on Press Row a month ago. They've been reaching out in other avenues as well, so they're not just doing it through their own channels. I mean, it just, like, to echo your thoughts, Brian, it just feels like the guys making this game kind of know they got something pretty darn good on their hands, and it feels to me like this is going to be a, relatively speaking, a solid launch, and it also feels to me like even more like this game itself is just going to be really, really big, and I have a feeling it's going to be pretty darn good.
Yeah, over the 10 years or 11 years I've been covering these games, you get a sense for when there's like behind the scenes desperation in terms of how they're talking about the game and promoting the game, and you don't see that with NBA 2K15. One thing that's a curiosity to me though is they really didn't release anything about gameplay improvements. So it's almost like everybody knows our gameplay is going to be good. We made it even better, but then here's all the other stuff we did. That was just out of the ordinary to kind of in their marketing cycle. But you definitely do get the feeling that they're ready with this game, and we'll see.
And the best part about it is between NBA 2K, right, and we're going to have a league, and we're going to have something socially going on with that, whether it's a league and our our individual players or whatever, but that's clearly going to be a big part of the Press Row community. We've obviously got our Madden leagues going. We've got one going, the official Press Row League, and we've also got one going on through Dot Scientifics, which is also fun. We've got our golf club tournaments going on. That game continues just to be a whole lot of fun. You've got FIFA, which has been, just really, I know there's a lot of people that have a lot of issues with the game. Trust me, I'm not out here saying it's a 10 out of 10, it's perfect, but whatever you want to say about it, I am thoroughly enjoying FIFA 15 in the ways that I'm playing it, multiple ways. And again, I'm still even playing the show, and then you got Forza Horizon. My goodness, so many great games that are out right now and so many fun ways to play them. None of them perfect, all of them with a lot to offer. It's a really fun time to be playing sports video games on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One these days. So I think, gentlemen, that is about where we're going to wrap it up. I do want to say a couple things real quick. Number one, we mentioned earlier, we ask you to please go to Games Radar and check out the FIFA 15 Ultimate Team tips. It is a very exhaustive look into how to have fun playing Ultimate Team, curated by TJ Lauerman, edited by me, and I've gotten a lot of great feedback from that says that, hey, this is exactly what I needed. I want to start playing Ultimate Team. This helps. So please go check that out. Also, please go check out this past week, just yesterday, as a matter of fact, the latest episode of the Press Row podcast went live, and it is a deep dive into FIFA 15. We talked to the producer, Santiago Jaramillo, about making the game and some of the differences between FIFA 15 and FIFA 14. And then what I've also gotten a lot of great feedback on is for about an hour, Kat Bailey and Good Game Bros Corey Andrus and I just go over how to play the game better. Like, here are some things that you can do, regardless of what team you're playing or regardless of what mode you're playing on the pitch. Here are some things that you can do to make your team better. Here's how to finish stronger. Here's how to pass better. Here are some tactics that you can use. some really, really, really good stuff that I'm starting to implement, and hopefully is going to make my experience better. But no matter what, it's really good. And of course, coming up this next week, we'll have some the next episode of the Press Row Podcast. We will be doing some initial impressions of NBA 2K15, and going to be having a lot of fun with that. So in the meantime, please do what I do, which is go to Operation Sports every day and check those good fellas out there who are the benefactors of the Press Row Podcast. Also do what I do every day, which is go to Pasta Padre. Brian is doing a daily video series, which is really interesting. And also, of course, posting news and features and information as well for text, for those of you who still like to read. And Brian,
some people, yeah,
plenty of those.
Some people like to read, Rich. Some don't. I've learned that.
And TJ Larman, of course, has his entire stream. He's a kingpin, basically. He's a streaming kingpin. He's got that whole thing going on. Ultimate Team stuff happening, and a whole community going on over there at thatsportsgamer.com. So go watch him as well. Just whatever you do, do not go watch the stream of him beating me in 2 consecutive games to kick off the start of the Press Row Premier League, because there's no reason whatsoever.
Don't worry, Rich. It was muted. Both of them were muted. Because of copyright claims or whatever. So
I recorded that locally, so the music's there.
Yeah.
So. But don't forget, October 25th, 24 hours straight of streaming.
There you go.
Oh, Lord.
For the children. You can go to thatsportsgamer.com/extralife to read more about that.
Yeah, that's really cool that you do. And TJ, your Extra Life team has been crushing it. I mean, you got Seward out there. Greg Seward, my goodness, that guy. But you got a really great thing. Talk a little bit more about that before we call it a night, because it's really impressive. I'm very inspired by what you're doing over there.
Yeah, right now we have 26 people on the team altogether. We've raised creeping on $6,000 right now. We're a little over $5,700.
That is amazing.
We're currently the 15th highest team doing it, which is pretty good because I was looking at the other teams. And some of them have like 150, 200 people on the teams. Like there's a Reddit team that has like 600 people on the team. So our little ragtag group is staying up there with the big guys. We're beating Game Informer, so that's good. Rooster Teeth just kicked us off the top 15, which is pretty depressing. But we're gonna have a ton of fun. It's gonna be a great time.
Yeah, seriously, I'm very proud of you guys. I'm obviously I'm helping the cause as I can.
You're gonna be sponsoring the channel. I appreciate that very much.
Absolutely. I want it. Obviously, as a parent, these things hit close to home for me. But it's just nice that these are the kind of things that we as a community can get together and do. So I appreciate that very much.
Got to play it forward.
I just wish I could play video games for 24 hours straight. That sounds like a whole lot of fun. I want to do that. So,
most of those hours are fun. There's a lot of them that aren't that great. There's a lot in there that are fun.
So yes, go to Operation Sports. Go to Pasta Padre. Go to That Sports Gamer. Thank you everybody for watching. This has been a lot of fun. We will do this again real soon. And in the meantime, thank you as always for listening and for watching the Press Row Podcast, Press Row Hangouts. We appreciate it, and have a great night.